Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive the 2017 C300 Coupe. I'm going to do a quick walk around and then I'm going to supplement it with sitting in the back to show you how much space there truly is, which I'll give you a hint, it's not much. But I do think that the C300 Coupe looks stunning, especially with the sports package. Let's go ahead and hop on in. Your typical Mercedes key fob. Different than the E-Class, actually. Pull this lever back to get into the back seats. The front seat actually moves out of the way for you. Let's hop on in. All right. And then it should touch your legs and then give you a little room, and it does not. All right, so headroom is very limited. My head is actually touching the roof itself. But if you push your back up against the seat here, you actually do have a little bit of legroom if the person driving the car in front of you is of a shorter size. Let's hop in the front and actually drive this thing. Push button start. One of the biggest things I notice with the new C-Class and the C-Class Coupe is just the level of quality in the interior. Everything feels good to the touch, very sturdy, and great use of materials. I also love the way this center stack looks. You've got all digital 8.4-inch screen there, and then some analog tach and speedo. A lot of car manufacturers are going to fully LCD screens for the tach and speedo, but not on the C-Class yet. You've got this stunning premium Meister sound system. I love the way that looks. You got your seat controls right here on the left, of course, manual. You've got your dynamic mode selection right here in the center console. Let's put it on Sport Plus because most of the people watching are probably enthusiasts. Of course, you can put it in Comfort or Eco. This car gets mid-20s, upper mid-20s for miles per gallon. The backup screen is actually really great. It's got good graphics and it's big enough to where you can actually see what's going on. Of course, when you turn the steering wheel, you've got guidelines to let you know where the car will be positioned. Rear visibility isn't fantastic, but it's not terrible either. But with this backup camera, if you are needing to reverse in a tight situation, it won't be an issue at all. Now, to put the car into its different gears, you've got a column-mounted gear selector like the Mercedes S-Class. It appears Mercedes is moving that way. So push down for drive, up for reverse, in for park. Let's put it in drive. You've got a 7-speed automatic with steering wheel mounted paddles. We are in sport mode going over terrible gravel Michigan roads and still pretty comfortable, actually. This does not have the $1,200 Airmatic suspension, which, to be honest, I don't think you really need. Car gives you a little kick in the back between gear shifts. I do like that. Makes it feel a little bit more sporty. The steering is direct and tight. It's got a little more slop in it than, let's say, a BMW 3 Series. See, I can move the steering wheel back and forth like that with no movement of the car itself. The transmission actually responds very well. That was a weak point of Mercedes in the past, but now it's actually pretty good. Let's plop it into comfort mode. Make it a little bit more comfortable. The graphics are one of the most impressive parts of the car. Go into the entertainment system. Now we're in configuration mode for dynamic mode selection. This is cool if you're really into tech. We've got our horsepower and torque figures listed right there. So step on the gas, you can instantly hit the full torque figure, and then as you get higher up in the RPM ranges, you can go all the way up to its 241 horsepower. Pretty cool. The multimedia system is very easy to control via this turnstile dial here. Pretty intuitive as well. You've got blind spot monitoring, so if someone appears in your blind spot, you've got a red triangle that pops up in your mirrors. Hasn't been an issue yet. This car is relaxing to drive. Mercedes is focusing, at least it appears, more on luxury this time around, which I think is a good thing. Mercedes was always a luxury brand, and when they started trying to be a BMW 3 Series with their C-Class, they weren't really succeeding. BMW has the handling and the suspension down. Mercedes is better in luxury games. So I'm glad they've done that. The interior and the overall design language of the C300 blows the 3 Series out of the water. So if you want something that's comfortable, that's luxurious, that has the tech features, this is definitely your better bet than the 3 Series. If you want a sports car, this probably isn't the one to get. That's not to say it doesn't perform well. It is a relatively quick car. 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. Nothing to write home about, but it does thrust you into the back of your seat a little bit. The engine feels pretty much naturally aspirated. You don't really feel the turbo kick in at all, which is nice. That shows the development of turbocharged technology. No longer is it a huge deal that something's turbocharged and you get an immense amount of turbo lag. Not the case. Pretty linear power band, and you get more torque at lower RPMs. The seats are supportive and comfortable. This is a non-AMG car, so you don't have super intense side bolsters or anything like that. But I've been driving this car around for the majority of the day, and it's been very, very comfortable. It is a relaxing place to be in a hectic world. I think that's what Mercedes is all about, trying to make the driving experience as pleasurable as possible. Whether it's with the AMGs, giving you that incredibly epic audible noise and thrust forward, those sensations of speed, and with their more luxury cars, making everything easy for you to do, thinking of stuff that you hadn't even imagined, and when they incorporate it into the vehicle, it actually improves your daily life. I do like that finally they've added a remote start option through Embrace and your phone. You can actually start the car up. European car manufacturers haven't been doing that very much for fuel economy reasons. American manufacturers, of course, have for a very, very long time. It's really emissions related. An idling car standing still with no one in it is emitting unnecessary CO2 into the environment. So I do appreciate that European car manufacturers care about that, and they have different regulations. But if you live in a colder climate, it is nice, or a really hot climate, definitely nice to have remote start. You've got the majority of your options here on the big screen, but in between the tachometer and the speedo is another host of options. So you've got steering wheel controls to control that. Let's go into trip. We've gotten 21.7 miles today. Now you can go to instrument cluster, change the display unit to kilometers, although because this isn't a digital speedo, you can't actually change the analog units, of course. Drive assist, you can turn off traction control if you would like. I don't know why you would do that in this car, but maybe to have a little bit of fun. Collision prevention, blind spot assist, attention assist. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. The new C-Class is a truly excellent vehicle. It provides a lot for the money. This is not an overpriced car by any means. There's a few downsides. I'd say not offering leather for this caliber of car, and this specific one anyways, $56,000, and you've got vinyl instead of leather is, you know, a little bit controversial in my opinion. But the rest of the car, man, the quality is fantastic. And these MB Tech seats, they feel very great, and they probably hold up better than leather, and to be honest, they look pretty much the exact same. The only reason I really knew is because I looked on their website that it is MB Tech's. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Special thanks to Christopher of Mercedes of Novi for making this review possible. This car is available there now. I look forward to seeing you next video.